This is the home that I grew up in along with my younger sister, Yama. We grew up in this home. After we moved from Walton Way, we moved here. I remember sitting out on the front. This was before it looked like this, though. Playing jacks. Kids don't play jacks anymore. It's just simple fun games, you know. We used to do that, sit out here and play jacks. And, of course, ride our bikes. And my mom and dad had lots of dogs because my mom loved pets. This is the home that Dad wanted to make a museum. He cherished his home. He never wanted to live in Hollywood or any other place. He wanted to stay right here where he was born, South Carolina, and where he grew up in South Carolina and Augusta. And this is the home that he wanted to share with his fans one day. And that's what we continue to fight for, so that those wishes that he wanted for his home to be a museum could be just that. And his fans from all over the world could come and see how the godfather of soul, Mr. James Brown, how he lived and experienced the peace that he experienced on this property.
What up? What up? What's good in the hood? This is your boy, Mike the Philosopher, along with Black Mellow. Okay. And this topic today is about James Brown, the late, the great James Brown. And just hit the news, man, that his catalog was sold to a publishing company. All right. And it was estimated to be for about $90 million, which is a lot of cheddar cheese, if I'm being honest. It turns out the same company, which is called Primary Wave Music Company, they also own about half of Whitney Houston's catalog, and they also own a lot of Prince's catalog. So the question I have for you fellas, Ski and Black Mellow, is why is it, man, that we can't keep no ownership in our community, man? Why do we always got to sell out, man? Because this don't just happen with music artists. This happens with businesses. This happens with like the big, like BET got sold out. We always selling out to these corporations. We don't never hold nothing. I mean, and that's
man.
Go ahead, Black.
We don't know nothing about generational wealth. We don't know nothing about passing stuff to our families. You know, that's one of our strongest downfalls. You know, we pretty much we know to work for stuff and then hand it over to massa. That's what we pretty much have been trained well to do. But our kids, on the other hand, like, we don't even think long term like that. We don't think generational, grandkids. The Bible say, and I know you don't rock with it, but I'm gonna say it anyway. Bible say, you know, I'm paraphrasing. A good man is one that leaves something for his offspring. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Like, you can tell the level of a man by what he was able to leave behind for his descendants. So if you die broke and you don't, and which, by the way, James Brown, from what I understand, he died broke in real life. Like, he didn't have no money in real life. He was worth more dead than alive. So that's another thing. You know what I mean? He do all this dancing and all this singing and all that, but you know, they hold on, this police want me to pull over real quick.
Okay. All right. Go on mute. Hey,
Yeah,
Ski.
so no, it's all good. It's
Hey,
all good.
hey, Ski. Let me ask you a question real quick. You there?
Yes.
Why is it that younger generations don't want to take over businesses just of their elders? Why is it that they always sell it away?
It's easy. Easy, fast money, you know. Probably ain't something they want to do either.
Yeah, but the thing is, man, you know, and maybe this is part of the parents. They're not. Are we not grooming our kids to take over a business, like take over a farm, or take over, managing
That's what
publishing?
They live in them firms. They live in them corporations. Pepsi, Coca-Cola.
Especially the farms, man. Kids don't want to do the farms. They, that's another reason why we've been losing farms, black and left and right, I should say. So I'm just kind of, when I heard this group, I mean, look, they paid the price. They paid $90 million, but I kind of feel away because it's like we don't never keep nothing, man. Now, who knows what they're going to do with his image? Who knows what they're going to do with? I mean, he can pretty much fall back into obscurity, pretty much, if it's mismanaged, because they have rights on how his name is. They have rights on how his name is, presented or things like that. You know what I mean? The same way with Whitney Houston, and the same thing with Prince. I mean, they have all the control over their catalogs. You know what I mean? It's like, why is it that we can't really keep nothing? And is it a failure on the business owners, or is it a failure on our kids coming up that is causing the problem? Or is it even a failure? Is it just capitalism at work? Anybody?
They're just kids.
Say what? Say that again.
I'm just saying, is it a failure on the business owners who own these businesses and these publishing rights, and or is it a failure on the kids not wanting to take over, like the farms, like the businesses, like things like that, the ownership of stuff? Like even if a parent owns a house, you know what I mean, just a regular house, and they pass away, that gets parceled off, that goes into escrow, and the kids are left, and oftentimes they just want to sell it off. It's as if, man, we don't hold ownership to nothing.
Yeah, and so that's when you look back on it, like everything, like James Brown came from a different era, For that, they was like sharecroppers and all that. His parents probably was like sharecroppers and all that. So they, people wasn't used to having a whole bunch, so generational. If you could accomplish, having a decent life, that was one thing. Education is another. But to have access to millions, that's a whole different conversation that people wasn't really having like that. I mean, now we looking back on them days, like he should have, taught his kids, to always keep that in the family, just like them other people do, like Kraft and, Louis Vuitton, Gucci. All these are people with last names, and they all have, legacies that they leaving behind. Trump,
Yeah, a lot of
these people
times.
is never going to sell their brand, because their brand is their name.
Yeah,
So
a
we're
lot
not
of
taught
times.
to respect our last name.
Yeah, a lot of times they keep their ownership and they hand that down, but a lot of times also they pass that on to the kids. They pass
Yeah,
those business
because they
skills over.
understand. They understand being wealthy for life, forever. They understand that and growing and developing and building on it. That's why they create these trusts and they set their kids up, with life insurance policies. And when they first born, they put $1 million on their life insurance policy, pay on it for 20 years. By the time they 20, 21, all right, here you go. You know what I mean? And you starting your life off like Trump did. His father gave him about a meal or two to start his life, according to him. So he
Right.
started off rich. He never had to struggle, but that was his pops preparing him. See, we not good at preparing ourselves, let alone our kids, and best we could do is educate our kids from where we starting at about, the importance of building something and not just working for something.
Yeah, man.
That's the
Because
best we can do. Start where you from.
yeah, because we always got to start over, man. Every generation got to start over all the time.
Yeah.
It's just
But
ridiculous.
like wealth only stays in the generation, even if you created a mass like crazy wealth right now. It only stays for about 1 or 2 generations, and then a third generation typically drops the ball because
Yeah.
one had to work hard for it just to break the mold. The second one had to actually build upon that platform and grow it to what it was. And then the third one, boom, either they're going to expand it beyond belief, or they're going to be so spoiled that they're going to drop the ball because they never had to work hard for it like the first generation did. So it's a cycle, and we got to understand where.
This is why I like
This stuff is worth $90 million after he's dead, and he was broke while he was alive. And there's a problem right there. There's a disparity,
This is why I like Michael Jackson, man. Michael Jackson actually, he was into ownership. He actually bought the Beatles
There's some
catalog.
information out here we should be getting to protect the, when he does pass away.
Can you hear me, Black? I don't know if you can hear me, man, because
worth more dead than alive. That's Google life work. They own his whole situation now, and his kids don't own it.
Hey, Black, can you hear me? Can you hear me? Microphone check. Okay. Like I said,
What
man,
up?
I said that's why I like Michael Jackson, because he actually bought the catalog. He actually bought the Beatles catalog.
Yeah,
and I would like
a
to
lot
see.
more.
Yeah, he did that. Bill Cosby, he was trying to buy NBC. See, I like people who trying to get ownership, man, and trying to build some things, and not having us always sell off and sell out.
And you see what happened when you try to do stuff like that.
Yeah, I mean that's could be conspiracy though, man. I mean,
conspiracy. Them ain't our people. Them they people. Them the people they play with, like Jordan.
So let's talk about that, Ski. You think that they try to stop us from ownership and
about 10 basketball players? They got enough money to establish their own country. With that money, the money you talking about, there ain't no money. They get them people money to play with, or a car. They'll lease them some stuff. That was never their things at the end of the day. They just use them for their talents.
Who owned Charlotte? The Charlotte. Who owns Charlotte? I don't know why I can't say that team name.
The
Charlotte Hornets.
The state of the Baphomet, with the big Baphomet carved in the mountain.
Who owned the Charlotte Hornets?
One of them. Some Negro.
I think that's Jordan's team. if it's not the Washington Wizards, it's one of them.
Jordan.
Which one he on?
When Jordan came back to the Wizards, he was that wasn't Jordan.
But what do you mean that wasn't Jordan? I'm talking about the ownership, man. I'm talking about the ownership. He owns.
It says, dude. It could be.
You know how Ye became a billionaire? Most of his net worth is in his Yeezys and his shoes. Most of it ain't even in his music. It's in his shoe brand. That's how he got to be a billionaire.
And all they do is hand out turkeys to the black communities. They go a turkey.
Yeah.
Tonka truck or something for the kids.
Yeah, well, I heard recently he's going to be doing more. He's going to be giving away some more money. I think he's creating a school in his mother's name. So he's going to be creating a elementary school or elementary or middle school, one of them, in his mother's name. So he's doing some stuff.
I mean, we can get biggest. They dropped the bomb on me, baby. Yeah, they dropped the bomb on me. We can get big as that. That's what they're gonna do. They're gonna drop the bomb every time.
What do you mean by that, man?
Oklahoma, yeah. Same place dude from. The Wilson dude. That's what he's talking about. They dropping bombs on us.
The Wilson dude? From where?
Charlie Wilson, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
They dropping bombs on us.
Oh, well, yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it ain't no establish no, we just got to keep it moving, Give all praises to the Most High at the end of the day.
So should we gain more ownership and hold more ownership?
Ownership of what?
Of anything we acquire.
Even in here where I'm at, you can own a house, but you still got to pay taxes at the end of the year. It's our property. Pay us. Pay me. F you. Yeah, that's how it go.
Yeah, but at least it's something that you can
destroy the business if you want to, especially if it's doing some good for your people. They're coming at you, But theirs, so they handle theirs, They lease them some nice houses and cars, get you some jewelry, do what you want to do. They big red. Big red business hours is from 9 to 5.
Yeah. So is this a problem? I mean, do y'all consider this a problem, or is it just capitalism at work? Like, is ownership overrated, or is it something that, us as a community, we need to try and gain more of? Like, I was a little surprised. First of all, James Brown died on Christmas Day in 2006. So this case has been going on for close to 15 years now. We coming up on 15 years. And, they finally got all the details ironed out. Now what's going to happen with this is there is a clause to give out scholarships in his hometown of Georgia to kids who are, underprivileged, as you could say. So that's kind of so it's going to be a James Brown scholarship fund in his name.
Not the JB scholarship.
The JB scholarship. Yeah, that's just, so it's going to help some kids in the community. So I think that's a beautiful part of it. I don't know if the family had that in the clause or what, or they kind of forced their hand. I'm pretty sure they did, because I don't think that primary music company or whatever would have volunteered to do that. I think it was probably like a clause. Look, if you want the catalog, you're gonna have to make a donation in James Brown name, you know.
What happened to James Brown's son?
I don't know, man. He probably one of the people who getting some of the 90 million.
No, the one that got murdered, like right after him.
Oh, I don't know.
Dig that.
Yeah. I mean, hell of a dude, hell of an entertainer, a legacy that's very unique in its way. It's very unique. James Brown was a unique dude. The way he danced, the way his music was, control of the band. He was the first black person in America to have a private jet. First African American to have a private jet. Probably the first black person on the planet to have a private jet. And this guy, you know, a pioneer, man. Pioneer in a lot of ways. He influenced both Michael Jackson and Prince. Just even in stage performance, they tried to move like James Brown, you know. But you know, just to see his whole legacy sold off was kind of eyebrow raising, like, you know. And it just raised the question: do we keep anything, man? I mean, are we just like a legacy that strong? Like, I mean, I can't even believe the Beatles was up for grabs, or their catalog was up for grabs. And I think somebody bought it from Michael Jackson's catalog. So I don't think Michael Jackson estate holds the Beatles no more. I think you know, it's in other control now. So, but just to see that legacy sold off is just kind of weird to me, man. Like, why wouldn't the family hold on to that? You know, if I
even versus platform versus Swiss Beats.
Well, you kind of breaking up, like, you kind of broke up. What did you say?
Versus.
No, you going in and out, man. Say again.
Versus got sold.
The verses that
Versus.
Yeah, that Swiss Beats and Timberland made. Yeah, they sold that too. They sold verses. This is what I'm talking about, man. BET versus anything we get, we sell it off, man. And I don't know. Like, again, I don't know if this is just capitalism at work, or is this just that we don't want to hold nothing, or what'd you say, Black Ski?
They never owned it.
What do you mean they never owned it?
It was just their idea. Somebody owned them. Dig that.
I think even some black magazines like Jet and all that, they get sold off. Like, everything that we create, man, we sell it off. It's just a little discouraging to me. And I'm kind of I know you got to kind of strike when the iron is hot and stuff like that. But at the same time, it's like,
so Oprah, her own person.
Oprah, she's so owned, by the way. She don't even own no more.
Oprah don't got nothing.
Well, I take that back. I don't think she sold all of it. I think she sold about the good majority. She's not the majority owner no more.
Whitney, same what he did, Prince, Michael Jackson. You know, she don't own nothing.
Yeah, she sold it for like kind of pennies on a dollar, man. She sold it for like not much money at all. I was kind of surprised by that.
Iron Mike Tyson. What? You know, what did Iron Mike Tyson do?
What did Tyson got to do with this, man?
He's a great too. He's one of the greatest too, right?
Yeah,
like
but
James.
But I'm talking about ownership. What are you talking about that he owned that he sold?
Well, what did he do to get back? Because Tyson, he went to prison and all that. He failed. He bit Holyfield in the ear. He was done. Now he the man again. He all in movies and stuff. He's a hero now. He body slamming people in the wrestling ring and stuff.
Yeah, but that's kind of a different story, man, because you talking about going from broke to getting back up financially. I'm talking about selling out. You know what I mean? Selling out your family legacy, your history,
they a business. R. Kelly was a whole business. You know, he wrote a whole bunch of songs for people, you know.
Again,
he might get the Bill Cosby. He might get the Bill Cosby. Yeah.
Yeah, but I'm talking ownership though, Ski. You talking about climbing back from hard times. I'm talking about ownership.
I'm just saying there ain't no ownership, you know. At the end of the day, it's none. They don't own nothing.
No, there is ownership. And I think especially, you know, in the communities.
That's what Prince said in his last tweet. He thought it was ownership.
Who said that?
Prince. Purple Rain.
No, he learned about ownership, and that's when he wanted it. Well, as soon as he learned what ownership really was about, like owning his masters, that's when he wanted it. And he wanted all of that stuff. He would probably be rolling in his grave if he knows his whole work got sold off. He would be so upset.
Exactly.
He would be so upset with his whole family. But that's what I'm talking about, though. That's what I'm talking about. And I wouldn't even blame him. As hard as he worked to try to get his masters, only to have all that shit sold out for pennies on the dollar, he will be irate. He will be straight up irate, and I wouldn't blame him. And it's you know, that happens far too often.
I just don't see no value in it anywhere.
Well, there's value in it, man, and it is something that, you know, it's a legacy for the family. You know what I mean? Even if you're not making money, you know, everybody want the whole, you know, they want the whole lump sum of $90 million, and I get it. That's a lot of money. That's hard to reject, or hard to say, you know, nah, I'm good. But because you know, you probably only get small amounts here and there from royalties or whatever the case may be. So you get a lump sum of 90 million, you'd be like, you know what, I'll take that. But that's just you're no longer the owner, and that legacy belongs, all that hard work and sweat and tears belong to somebody who just had the money. They just simply had the money, and they own all of your work, all your planning, blood, sweat, tears, touring. They own all of that.
That's right.
That is the part that's discouraging, though. That's the part that, you know, you know, or am I tripping though, Ski? Is it just capitalism?
No, it's more than that. That's what they want to call it. That's just a heathen word, you know. It's more than that, though. It's the evils. That's what they talk about.
It's the what?
The evils, what Jay-Z was talking about.
Right. Yeah, or just politics as usual. Blah. You know?
You think so?
Yeah.
Just
Yeah, so I don't know. It was just a story that kind of intrigued me. So I'm gonna wrap it up. Leave your comments. Am I tripping? Is this just capitalism, or should this be a legacy held on to by the families and in the community and things like that?
No, he did.
What? So with that said, hit the like, hit the share, hit the subscribe. And since the BMR covered it, Now it's official. Peace.